Hello, Gemini. My name is Paul, and this is Dove and Serpent Tarot. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And if there is anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have a Nine of Swords to start us out with. I knew it was going to be a very, very important message for you. Okay, and that shows that this is a very important message. Okay, the Nine of Swords. This is Mars in Gemini, right? This is kind of the forcing a situation open. This is really just using our strength of will to break something apart for ourselves, to really dismantle something and analyze it. Let's put this into some context. Yeah, there is some very strong Emperor energy. Okay, so let's see. See, we're surrounded by a lot of lovely things, and this brings a smile to my face because this is very serious work. This is a very critical message. And this is how we're going to deal with it. This is the energy that is supporting us. We have the Magician and the Star. I don't think we can get better than that, but we have an Ace of Cups. We've got the Nine of Cups here, so this is what we aspire to, and this is us getting to work manifesting that. You know, this is nice. Okay, so let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one card from the Waitsmith Tarot. And we're going to put it here. We'll put our alien Simon Mork Ripley. Yes, that is their full legal name. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but we're doing something a little different here. We're trying to make the channel more interactive. So if at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to put your answer into the comment section, okay? I'm trying to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, if we can tap into spirit, tap into our own intuition, and discern that mystery card together, okay? But first, let's take a look around the room. We've got two major arcana cards. We do have fire. Oh, actually, sorry, we have three major arcana cards, but these are very fiery cards, these two. I mean, this is almost the same energy, right? This is the Emperor, Aries, Cardinal Fire. This is the Knight of Wands. This is Cardinal Fire, fire on fire. It's basically the same energy. It's the archetype of the energy, and it is that energy activated in practice, okay? So it's very similar. But, my mistake, three major arcana cards. So the Trinity is a unity. Spirit is in the building. Okay. We've got a lot of water. 1, 2, 3 water energies. We only have this air, this Nine of Swords. It's kind of turbulent, okay? But it's leading to this spiritual insight. We have to take the first step. We have to initiate this work. We have to be strong enough to do it and to endure it, to get through it. And on the other side, spiritual awareness, spiritual enlightenment. This is the most important journey you will ever take. Okay, this is a critical message. Whatever this air energy is, whatever the Nine of Swords is, we're getting through it. Okay, we're aspiring to love and joy and beauty and an expansive water love energy, right? This is a lot of pleasure, a lot of satisfaction. And then we have some earth energy too. Okay, so it's a fairly balanced spread. Let's start with this 9. The Nine of Swords, the dreaded Nine of Swords. Anytime we get a Nine of Swords, we have to do a positive affirmation card, which I have over here. We'll do that in just a second. I feel like this is really, it's like you're trying to squeeze through a corridor that's lined with spikes. You know, it's a lot of thorns here, and we're trying to wrestle ourselves out of it. We know we're going to get scratched up, but we can't just stay here in the briar patch, right? We've got to get out of here. It's like barbed wire or something, you know? We can't just stay here. We know it's going to hurt, but we've got to get out. And that's why we need this Emperor energy. We need this fire energy to get us through this, okay? The Nine of Swords is sometimes a situation where we are kind of doing it to ourselves, you know, where we are kind of almost tormenting ourselves. Could be over some kind of guilt or some kind of regret or remorse or just something like this. It could sometimes be a situation where we're around others or in our environment, something is doing that to us. Either way, however this is resonating with you, we've got to get out of this, right? This is a lot of harmful energy, okay? It's kind of it's almost a spiritual attack. Let's do that affirmation card before we do anything else, really. I think we need this now more than ever. The stock, slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. I love affirmations that rhyme. The pace must abate before it's too late. Okay, so it's saying slow down, right? And I think that it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Because if we're in this kind of a snare, right? If we're caught in the briar patch or in the barbed wire, the last thing we want to do is flail around in this Aries energy. And I think it reminds me of an Jing hexagram. I can't remember which one. But it's about a goat who gets tangled up in a fence. Okay? And the more it thrashes about, well, it's hurting itself. It's tearing down the fence. It's just kind of, it's not good. Maybe some calm energy. Slow down. The pace must abate before it's too late. And this is that energy that is just kind of freaks out. It's the panic. It's just getting carried away, flailing around. It's like if someone who is, if you're caught in an undertow or you're in water and you feel like you're drowning, the last thing you want to do is panic and flail around. You kind of make it worse. Maybe someone's trying to rescue you. You smack them in the face. Best thing to do is calm down, right? Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. That's how we can get out of the snare, the barbed wire, not by frantic motion, but by calm, assertive motion. It's still Mars energy. We still need the power and the strength, but we need the strength of the Emperor, the best qualities of the Emperor, right? And these are patience. This is foresight. This is the ability to understand that sometimes the most progress will be made by going slow. If we go slow, we'll minimize the damage, we'll minimize the scratches and scars, the cuts and bruises on ourselves. And we'll also minimize the casualties around us. Okay. So the Emperor here is very, very strong, very assertive. But we're trying to control the impulse to just burst out. In this case, it's not a Band-Aid that needs to come right off. This is a slow peeling it back, being very careful with it, right? And it's still going to hurt, but I think it's going to be a lot less painful than it would be otherwise. Now, I don't know exactly what this situation is, but the idea here is that in order to have the greatest possible outcome, we need to slow down a little bit. Okay? We need to slow down a little bit. So in the recent past, we do have this Mercury energy. I think that you've always had an interest in like spiritual things. You've always had a quite vivid imagination. Yeah. So this might be a creative approach to this situation. Now, this might be a work situation. It might be a romantic situation. It might be a relationship that you're in. I feel like it's a relationship with someone or some entity. It may be a business or a corporation or something. A group of people, perhaps. I feel like you have a different vision than these other people. You know? I feel like you are looking far out into the distance. People might even have said this to you before, that they might ask you, where are you? You seem checked out. Right? Maybe you're staring off into the distance. We have the Knight of Pentacles here, staring off into the distance. And this is the card of your environment. Now, I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I think this is significant now, especially with this Mercury magician energy. You have this imagination. You have this interest in spiritual things, in creative projects, creative approaches. You think in a very unique way. Whatever situation this Nine of Swords is limiting you. It's almost punishing you for being different, right? Because you might be that person that in the middle of this kind of day-to-day activity, you just find yourself staring off into the distance. It's not because you're simple. It's because you are experiencing a spiritual vision, right? And someone may have to shake you and say, hey, what are you doing? And you just kind of come to and you think, oh, sorry, yeah, let me get back to work. That is the Mercury energy in you. That is you communing even with your spirit, with your soul, with yourself, with your creativity. And I feel like we need to explore that. I feel like that is the path that you're on. But I feel as if like, whatever, it's the Nine of Swords, really. I feel like it is restricting you or limiting you, dare I say even punishing you for being different, for having this kind of uniqueness about you. And indeed, we've got the Star and the Magician. I feel like you always have very unique insights into things. I think you're someone that very often taps into your intuition. You know things. You say things. You do things. People, but you know, right? I think you're in a situation now where it's not supportive of you, right? It's not helping you to grow or refine these skills that you have. Okay? You're different. You're different than most people. And you think, like I said, you think out of the box. You think very creatively, very intuitively. Here's a Nine of Cups at the top. You aspire to happiness, health, satisfaction, joy, pleasure, just like everybody else. To me, this is the highest goal that we've got right now. And in order to have this, I think we need to seek out people that can support us. We need to have a Nine of Cups relationship between ourselves and the world. We need to be on this journey with a supportive support system. I know it's a lot of support. I want the Nine of Cups to replace the Nine of Swords, rather than be in an environment that doesn't work for it. This is not for you, obviously, right? This is barbed wire. This is a real thicket. This is the thorns, you know. We need an environment that is supportive, that is there to help us grow, like-minded individuals, like-hearted individuals. Yeah. In order for us to really make that connection, this is like I said, this is the most important journey you will ever take. It's a journey to yourself. It's a journey to your star, to the highest dimension of which you are capable of projecting your consciousness. Okay? And right now we may feel this rush. We may feel like we need to hurry up and get the heck out of here. And it's to the point where we're ready to just break through a wall to get out. We have to slow down before it's too, the pace must abate before it's too late. We have to get that under control. And we do have to get out of there, though. But slow and steady might be the way. Right? We want to replace all of that with the Nine of Cups. We want an environment that is nurturing our physical body, but also our mental, emotional, creative, and spiritual bodies. Right? But we've got to make the first move. Here on this side, Path of the Serpent, is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is kind of the first step, right? It's the first sip of water for someone who has been crawling through the desert, right? It's the first bit of love and freedom and joy that you experience after getting away from this situation. This could be a job, could be a family situation, it could be someone in your life, it could be just really a part of your own psyche, okay? I don't want to put limits, or I don't want to point fingers with that Nine of Swords. I don't know where it's coming from exactly. But I do know that it's preventing you from getting to your full star, right? To the core of who you are. To find and fulfill your purpose, your destiny. Okay? And we have Mercury in the past. This is what's behind you. You know that you're meant for great things. You know that you're different. You know that you think and feel and perceive differently. You know that you have a connection that seems like most people don't have. It's kind of like when you live in a small town and you're the only one that's into, spiritual things or magical things or esoteric subjects. And you just think, gosh, the world is so small. We need to get out of here, right? Let's go travel. So we have that idea of the journey again, right? That this world that you're in now seems very small, but it's an infinite world. It's cosmic, right? We're talking light years, not just a couple miles from one end of town to the other. There's nothing against small town. I live in a small town. But I've traveled a little bit. I grew up in California, Bay Area, South Bay, right? But even there, it doesn't matter. You could be from a big city. Eventually, it's going to feel too small, right? It's going to feel too restricting. There's an urge in you right now. It feels like the walls are kind of closing in, and they've got spikes in them, right? So we've got to start kind of wiggling our way out now. I think you've always known that you're meant for great things, that you are not here on this earth to keep your spirit, your soul, your energy contained in a little tiny, fishbowl. A little tiny flower pot, right? And we had the flower pot as our Lotteria card for the last cycle. And somebody pointed out that the flower pot might not be, we don't have to look at it as being restrictive, right? As containing us, as being too small for us. But that it is the safe place for us to grow initially, right? That's why we put a pot in a flower pot. I think at least this is what my wife teaches me. She's got the green thumb here, not me. You put a young plant in a pot, so it has just enough soil, it's protected, right? It can grow. Once it's strong enough, throw it out into the garden, throw it out into the yard. let it grow in the earth, you know. And that kind of feels like the same way. It feels like you've matured enough that you got to get out of this situation. You're starting to grow beyond the walls of this flower pot. It's time to replant you, right? And I'm not saying that you have to literally travel or literally move away. The energy that you're in right now is restrictive. We've outgrown it to the point now where it's starting to actually hurt us by staying. Okay? So anyway, Path of the Serpent, Ace of Cups. The first taste of this kind of spiritual attainment, spiritual freedom. This is the source of happiness. This is when we start realizing where all of this water energy comes from. This supportiveness, this love and joy and beauty. What is our happiness? We have not known happiness like this before. This is full being, right? This is body, soul, and spirit. Body, heart and mind, creativity, spirituality. Satisfied on every plane. And it starts with this Ace of Cups. We're starting to understand where this kind of satisfaction comes from. And this Ace of Cups is the starlight that's being poured down on this star card. And now it's up to you to express that out into the world. It's time now for you to share yourself with the world, for you to be out in the world being you, right? And that's what the star does, receives the blessings, receives the divine energy, and then gives it away. And that's what is happening down here, giving it away. All right? Sharing yourself, sharing your gift with the world. And it may mean, volunteering and stuff like this, but it doesn't have to mean that. By you being authentically you, that's you fulfilling the will of the universe. Yeah. That's you being a perfect manifestation of your star by just being you. By not holding yourself back, by not restricting your energy. Just letting your Holy Spirit out, And in the environment, yes, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. This, I kind of feel like this is a dissatisfaction with the usual daily activities, right? Maybe this figure is supposed to be out here doing stuff in this field, but you're looking off into the distance. You're distracted, right? And maybe this is kind of a commentary on the world, too, that there are too many distractions. That maybe the work that you're meant to be doing right now, whatever you're doing in this field with this horse, you're being distracted by too many other things, right? And that's kind of a commentary on the world, right? When we try to focus on what we feel in our soul, there's all these other things that try to lure us away. You have televisions at the gas station and stuff, It's trying to just fill my little car responsibly, and there's a speaker blaring in my ear. I have very sensitive hearing. So there's a little bit of that going on too, I think. Too many choices, too many other things to do rather than focus on what we know we should be doing right now, whatever this work is, right? And see how we flip that around, because a little bit earlier I said that this is you in the middle of your kind of daily work, but you're being distracted by something else. See, we kind of flipped it around. Because in the middle of our so-called mundane life, you're being distracted by this star. You see it twinkling in the corner of your vision, right kind of off in the periphery. You see it twinkling and you look and it's not there. It's like we can only really see it sideways, But then as we move forward, we get in touch with this star. This is the distraction that we really want, We want to be committed to our star and follow our destiny, follow our bliss, manifest ourselves. But now we're being distracted by all of these other millions and millions of impressions and stimuli from the world, trying to distract us now from ourselves. Okay. So moving on, we got a 5 of Cups. This is disappointment. This is in the position of what we don't want. Now, to me, this is almost kind of goes back to the nine of swords here. That we're trying to we don't want this. This is kind of this is something pulling at our emotions to get us back. All right, this is when you leave a bad situation and that situation just keeps calling you or texting you and saying, "I'm sorry, please come back." Well, we don't want that. We don't want to feel manipulated or gaslighted, or we don't want to be guilted. We don't want anything to appeal to our emotions to get us back here. Okay, so this, I think it's good that we have the 5 of Cups here because we know what to avoid. Someone tugging at our sympathies to get us, "Oh, please don't quit. We need you. We'll pay you more." Well, maybe if you paid me more. So this is kind of the obstacle here. But this is also, there's light and shadow in every card, right? Because this is a 5 of Cups. It means movement. It means change. It doesn't have to be change for the worse. It could be change for the better. Yeah. This is, at least the waters are moving. So this is a card that is to say that the only real disappointment in your life is if you do not fulfill your destiny. If you don't let this spiritual water flow through you, then we get kind of the negative aspect of this card: disappointment, sadness, the feeling like something's missing, right? But if we let this spiritual energy flow through us, we get that 9 of Cups. See, on the one hand, it could lead to a 9 of Swords, but on the right hand, or the left hand, or whatever, it'll go to the 9 of Cups. Either way, the water's going to move. Okay? It's water's nature to seek its level, it'll find any crack, it'll find any way for it to flow until it gets to the very, very kind of central, core of things, which in this case is either a 9 of Cups or a 9 of Swords. If we had a 10 of Cups, we could say that too, to get to the very, very bottom of things. But now the final card here is interesting because this is more earth energy. This is a 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus. So it might be an idea of simplification, right? This might be, if you look at it, if you kind of blur your eyes a little bit, kind of looks like a dark and mysterious jungle, right? It looks like a landscape that we are unfamiliar with. It kind of looks like we need to trim these bushes back. We might need to water these plants. They might need a little bit of sunlight or starlight in this case. So this is kind of telling me that, oh, that was a confirmation. My cat just knocked something over in the other room. This is telling me that you are inspired by the unfamiliar. You're inspired by the potential that you see in things. You're somebody that wants to refine things. Maybe you're a sculptor or something, or maybe you look at life or you look at art that way, that you're not here to put something onto a blank canvas. You're someone who takes away some of the blank spots, trims away some of the bushes to reveal the beauty, to reveal the art that is already there. Right? So it's not a creation, it's more of a refining. It's more of a trimming off what we don't need to reveal the sun within. You know? This also kind of tells me that maybe you're someone who is focused on giving to others, healing others, right? You're not just all about the money. You want to try to bring out the best in people. You want people to realize their true potential, because as you're trying to realize yours, you know. So I wonder if you're leaning toward that kind of work somewhere. And then that's your way of giving back, right? Very interesting with this card, and it's very interesting that it's the final outcome here. Because it feels like a refinement. It feels like we want to take in the cold, the sick, the hungry, the tired, right? We go to the animal shelter, and we want to adopt the animal that needs the most love and care, right? And then we will put this energy into this to bring out the best version of that thing, right? Does that make sense? I'm trying to find the right metaphor here. It's almost as if we try to seek out those opportunities where we are the most needed, right? Where people really need our energies the most. That's where we want to go to be of service. Okay? It's the feeling I'm getting anyway. But let's look at the mystery card. This video is going a little bit long. Thank you, Alien Simon Mork Ripley. Now, I want to see if we can discern this mystery card together. Okay? I'm going to put these cards back. I'll switch the camera. Try to connect with these energies. Try to connect with your own intuition. And let's see if we can raise our vibrations and connect with this card. Now, pause the video if you want. I'm going to go ahead and offer my guess here. And because we talked a lot about water and air here, I'm thinking we need something water and air. Right? Maybe we need a Queen of Swords. Right? Maybe we need maybe the Prince of Cups, or maybe like a Six of Swords. Especially since we're in Rider-Waite-Smith with this, I think a Six of Swords would be perfect. And I'll tell you why. If I'm right, I'll tell you why. Let's see, we're going to look at it now. Okay, yeah. Okay, Six of Swords. Because the Six of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith is all about the journey, right? And I've been saying that this is kind of the most important journey that we're taking. A journey to ourselves, right? But then this is also a card that talks about the reconciliation of thinking and feeling, of heart and mind, right? And now we see that here where we're replacing the Nine of Swords with the Nine of Cups. So we have this idea of water and air together. We've got a lot of water here. And of course, with the Star Aquarius card, there's kind of a water and air vibe here with that card. So I like there is that association, but then this is also a card that says we are getting away from a negative situation. And that's what this whole thing was about, getting away from whatever that Nine of Swords is, whatever that barbed wire is. We're getting away from that, okay? On the waters of love, right? We're traveling by water. But if you notice, all the swords are in the boat. We're not leaving all of this stuff behind. Well, what I should say is we're taking the wisdom gained from that experience with us. We are learning our lesson here. We're not going to forget, right? We're taking, these aren't just a bunch of swords. We're not taking all the pain. We're not taking that experience or that situation with us. These are all aces of swords. They're all individual swords. We're taking the distillation of those experiences as kernels of wisdom, of kernels of enlightenment with us. Primarily, so we don't end up back there again. Right? We're letting go, we're leaving, we're moving on, but we're not going to forget. And that's why we take the swords with us. Okay? Very intense, very important message for you right now. Okay? And we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, click either above or below in the video description. New readings for Gemini every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m. No, not 9 a.m. 6 a.m. Chicago time. I'll be asleep again by 9 a.m. So please subscribe to the channel. Just hit the notification bell. You won't miss the next reading, even if I say the wrong time, which I sometimes do. Time is relative anyway, I guess. I want to thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. It really helps out the algorithm, that helps out the channel, and it's good for all of us. Okay. Gemini, I want you to remember that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.